Hello? What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? I am the winner. Oh. And life's not a competition, you know. But little things like that certainly fucking are. How are you doing today? You enjoying the podcast? You going for a walk? You driving? Lying down in bed, having a little sleep, or about to? What is it you do when you listen to our podcast? I'm curious to know. I sit in my chair by my computer with a mic in front of my face, screen blaring down on me. But you have the privilege of doing whatever you'd like. And yeah, I'm curious to know. I'm out of rum and coke, so I'm seriously going to have to join Woody in getting these tankers of spirits. And I can just do what I want. Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. Oh.
I'm back. Hello.
You are back, yeah.
Just bear with me 2 seconds.
See you later. He wants more time. What did I tell you guys? Oh, there's a bit of an echo there. You got me through the speakers, haven't you?
Yeah, sorry.
Honestly. Fucking sort it out, Jamie. I think there was an episode of Joe Rogan recently where he was telling Jamie how to Google something. And he was like, everyone was like, that's all Jamie does. What do you mean? Why tell him how to do his job? He does it every day. He's the best Googler in the world. Did you finish a quiz?
I did.
Not to go back into it.
No. Let's go into it. Come on.
Really?
Second part.
Second part. I think you also need to let us know if you're enjoying part 1 and part 2, people. Because when I record it, I always feel like I just want to deliver this to you in one. But then I do appreciate not everyone wants to sit and listen to something for 2 hours. I'd happily listen to myself for 2 hours. But you might not want to listen to us for 2 hours. So any feedback on that would be brilliant as well. But yeah, part 2. Woody's done his 16 personalities little test. He's had a wee break as well.
So, previously I was an advocate.
Oh, don't tell me you flip-flopped as well, otherwise this is BS. You might as well be a different person every day of the week.
That was 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I'm not too far from it. I don't think.
I bet you're still a green one. Can I try
I'm
and
not
get...
I'm not a green one.
Okay, then you're a blue. I don't think you're a purple.
I'm a purple.
It does make sense with the whole analyst thing. That's what always confused me about you being green last time.
I think...
Oh, he's a debater.
Yeah, I think previously I wasn't too much of a critical thinker. I was just more of a free thinker, if you know what I mean. I think they're quite different. So can you guess?
You've learnt the confidence to critique.
Yeah.
That's a difference in you in the last 4 to 5 years. I think a little bit of it was being in that room in E-Move where everyone was so open to just chat shit and say what they think. And you were given the respect and the place to actually be like, nah. And it was beautiful. But yeah, so is it a debater that you've been given?
It's not a debater.
All right, you go. Come on, what is it?
Oh,
Architect?
come on. Architect, that's the one.
There you go, yeah. I mean, I know you wanted to be an architect, so I chose all the others first. I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? Let's be honest. Even the guy, he's sitting there, like, pondering stuff, scratching his head.
All
Like,
the lines
brilliant.
is perfect. Thought constitutes the greatness of man. Man is a reed, the feeblest thing in nature, but he is a thinking reed. That's a quote from Blaise Pascal, I suppose.
You've got Elon Musk. He's an architect. Do you know who I got? I got bloody what's his name? Dickhead, save the world guy, Bill Gates. After all that, after abusing Bill Gates for a whole episode, I just got told I'm Bill Gates. And then after saying Elon Musk is amazing, you get told you're Elon Musk, Vladimir Putin, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm Kristen Stewart from Twilight. Jesus, I want my money back, God. Roll the DNA again.
Gandalf the Grey.
What, they're doing characters from a film as well?
Yeah.
So they're just making this shit up as they go along now. Tywin Lannister. I need to go back to mine and see what celebrities I've got. But yeah, continue.
This personality type is full of contradictions. Architects are imaginative, yet decisive. Ambitious, yet private. And curious, yet focused. From the outside, these contradictions may seem baffling, but they make perfect sense once you understand the inner workings of the architect mind. For architects, life is like a giant game of chess, relying on strategy rather than chance. They contemplate the strengths and weakness of each move before they make it, and they never lose faith that, with enough ingenuity and insight, they can find a way to win, no matter what challenges might arise along the way.
Strengths and weaknesses. Don't go too much into the pros. That was enough of a snippet. You go the whole page, then they just wanted to fill that page out.
Yeah. That was at the bottom of the page, to be fair, so that's nice little inspiration.
So, the bolds. What have you got for your strengths?
Rational, informed, independent, determined, curious, versatile.
Boom. They've got you, haven't they? They've pinned you right on the wall. Weaknesses.
Arrogant, dismissive of emotions, overly critical, combative, romantically clueless. That's it.
Oh, hammer, ding, ding, ding. Romantically clueless. Like, I wasn't going to go into romantic relationships this episode, but romantically clueless begs the question of clicking that next page, doesn't it?
Yep, I did it.
Yeah. Is it telling you your impotence? Oh, have they done it in prose?
No, they haven't. They've just done a big paragraph.
Emotional sickness. Jesus.
Oh, okay. They've got headlines.
Not really, though.
Oh, no.
Architects aren't. Yeah, so you're not going to send flowers or write a mushy note.
I do send flowers, though.
But when they believe that a relationship has potential, architects will give it their all to work and maintain stability and ensure their long-term partner's satisfaction. How interesting in your current situation.
That is very true.
By using their imagination, people with this personality type can find meaningful, unexpected ways to share their affection. That said, emotions may still feel like a second language to these personalities. Architects might treat themselves as puzzles to be solved, an approach that always isn't successful. They might treat the relationship as puzzles to be solved. When their partner shares strong feelings, architects might shut down, or they might be tempted to overanalyze a situation rather than simply listening and offering support. Yeah. Je l'ai intéressant. That is interesting. I didn't look at my relationships. I'll dive back into that after. But how are you feeling looking back on the architect? How are you feeling staring yourself in the mirror?
I think it fits me quite well. Confident individualism, analyst, 83% introverted, 97% intuitive, 55% thinking, 45% feeling, 58% judging, 42% prospecting, 85% assertive, 15% turbulent. I think they hit me down to a T, really. So I'm glad I did this again, just to revalidate myself. There used to be a little place on here that told you, 1% of the world are something. Or less.
Yeah. And that was the funny thing, is that the first time I did it, I got told I was like the rarest person alive, and I felt great. And this time, I haven't been told that, so it's a bit sour.
Yeah.
But, the other thing is that I went back to see who I'm like, and fucking Neo from The Matrix. And I don't know how you put Neo from the Matrix in a box. And
Yeah.
like, what even is he? Like, he doesn't
dunno.
say anything about his personality type. He just wants. Like, to be fair, though, if there was someone who was the one in terms of questioning, yeah, because I always question things. You know, when I said about the sun not being real, maybe Morpheus is going to call me up and be like, Neo, the sun is not real. They've been watching you. Follow the white rabbit.
I doubt it.
I don't know. My phone's on. I've got 2 phones. I've actually got 2 phones, and they're on vibrate, Morpheus. And you can send me one in the post if you want. Such a strange way to get a message. Send a phone in an envelope. I do also have Albert Einstein, but yeah, Kristen Stewart is just somewhat tainting the field. It is interesting though, right?
It is. It'll be interesting to see what our partners are.
I think so. We'll have to get. I think Claudia's done it actually.
Yeah, I pinged it to Liza to see if she can do it.
Do it, yeah. There you go. See, look, you're trying to puzzle it out. As soon as you get that back, you're going to start mapping your chessboard out. Like, she's one of these, so I've got to do this. So, a genuine connection is my romantic relationship. From the start, logicians take their relationship very seriously. When they meet their partner, they connect on a real level. Dude, I sound incredible. Fucking date me now. Even in the early dating phase, logicians are usually direct and honest, something that people always admire. That I just added that last bit. They didn't say that, but I've started embellishing on top of it. For many logicians, being upfront isn't a sign of rudeness or bad manners. Instead, it's a point of pride, not to mention a way of avoiding misunderstandings, navigating conflict, especially prone to shutting down when the emotional agreements happen. Alternatively, they might offer. This is funny, you know, because whenever anything happens, like there's an argument taking place here, my problem is that instead, because a lot of the time, my partner Claudia, she'll want a bit of space, but whenever there's a separation in the field of a perfect relationship, I just have to get it back together.
I'm a bit like that.
I have to fucking fix it. Like I'll kind of just be like, kind of trying to explain what I was saying and doing it. Oh no, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Whereas in actual fact, if I gave her 3 hours, I'd say, "You all right, babe?" She'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But I keep poking and she's like, "Just fuck off." The other bit is the irrationality of joy. Logicians tend to live in a world of thought. Romantic relationships can help break them out of their own mind, allowing them to experience the fullness and joy of pleasure of being in the moment. So really what they're saying there is Claudia brings me to life. The experience can be transformational, revealing strengths, traits, and desires that the logicians didn't know they had within them. This is it. If I hadn't met Claudia and had this whole thing, my whole life would have been a mess, but it tied it together. With their creative, vivid imagination, logicians can make surprisingly enthusiastic and passionate partners, capable of expanding their horizons in ways that serve relationships without ever losing a sense in their self. Fuck me.
It'd be very interesting to know what Claudia is.
You hear that, Claudia? I'm reading about my personality and how basically...
Can you send it to her and get her to do it?
I'll send it to you, yeah. No, she's already done it. What did you get, Claudia? The girl with the spanner she got.
Oh.
She got the girl with the spanner, which
Engineer?
was... Spanner is the...
Where are they? Where are the...
It's the one with the spanner. Babe, there isn't one holding a spanner.
Read about types.
There's yellow ones at the bottom. I completely missed these.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, the Virtuoso? Was it Virtuoso?
Bold and practical experimenters, master of all kinds of tools. Yeah?
She's great cooking. No, I'll go beyond that. She is great at everything she does. So that does make sense. Nothing is as boring as everyone agreeing with you. Oh dear.
Oh, Jesus.
But I do disagree with her.
That's good.
Optimistic and energetic. These are your strengths, Claudia. Optimistic and energetic, creative and practical, spontaneous and rational, know how to prioritize, great in a crisis, relaxed. Great in a crisis? Dude. Whenever anything happens in our lives that's a crisis, Claudia just makes it worse. Like,
Is that what it says?
Do you not think, babe? No, it says she's great in a crisis, like, but whenever there's a time to panic, like, Claudia, like, actually, I don't know. Think about that time when Miyako was choking. You actually sorted it, whereas I was the opposite. That's true. Overall, maybe she is. I remember once, brilliant parent that I am, I gave Miyako a cracker, and then I like lay her down to change her.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and she was like, and I literally was like, fuck, and like I just, oh, it was the most horrible thing. Whereas Claudia like saved her life and just like whacked her on the back, and I was just like, I remember I curled up in the ball in the other room, was just like, oh my god, what that could have been so bad. So yeah, she is good at creating a crisis. Stubborn is the weakness. Yes. Insensitive.
Dude, don't fucking.
Private? No. What? You're going to sit there with Liza and be like, insensitive? No. You're brilliant.
No, I'm not going to call her out on it and then like just wait and see what her response is. Like, oh, insensitive. That's what it says you are. You're fucking insensitive.
Private and reserved. Easily bored. Oh dear, we won't even read out the last one. Dislikes commitment. Oh dearie me. Dislikes commitment. Dearie me. Risky behaviour and dislikes commitment. That doesn't add up to a good story. That I have to keep an eye on this. Oh. Romantic relationships next. I don't even want to turn the page. No, the personality of Claudia Tan is the most incredible woman in the world. So it's all fine.
So this is something interesting on the relationships things. So
we can include this test in the link on our podcast. Continue.
Yeah. Now,
I'd be interested to know what our listeners are. Why don't you leave us a comment and then I can stop interrupting Woody?
Yeah. I don't know if we want to go into this, but
we do.
I don't know what you're like in relationships. I guess I have an idea, but I think a lot of men are in may have a similar outlook as me on this, which is, it seems like the relationship feels at most risk when the female is unhappy with the relationship.
This is difficult for me because I fucked up a lot of them when I was younger, and it was nothing to do with the female. But then I was young, so I think in an actual adult relationship, I would probably say, yeah, I think that's right. I think the man has a maternal instinct for the relationship, whereas the woman has a preservation relationship with the relationship with the relationship.
What do you mean by preservational?
In the sense that it has to be lucrative, it has to be productive, not the man, but the relationship, and there has to be a sense of a journey, a present that is meaningful, and a future that is meaningful. Whereas with a man,
what do men want in relationships?
Like I say, I think it's a maternal. They want to look after it. They want to build a boat,
but what do we like
keep that boat happy?
Yeah,
and be happy whilst they are in the boat, and they're not necessarily looking where the boat's going. They're not necessarily
we just want to
caring about what they're sailing
keep the ship
on.
afloat.
Exactly. And then men get pissed off because they're like, what?
Where are we going?
No. The women gets pissed off because they're like, where are we going? The man gets pissed off because he's like,
just built you a boat.
Why? Yeah. Why do you care where we're going? Look at this fucking woodwork.
Yeah.
Don't see no holes in this. Why are you trying to poke holes in it? There's no holes.
Yeah.
And they're like, but where are we going? You're like, doesn't fucking matter. Wherever the river takes us.
And they've got their...
Because we know the water's flowing in one direction. We can't control it. Whereas they're like, they want the oars and the sail. And
they even want the oars and the sails. I feel like they
want the island in the distance.
There could be sails on it. And all they're doing is sort of climbing up the mast and going, like... Is this even real cotton? Like, let me just cut a bit of this off and just see.
Looking at all the other boats as well. Like,
Oh, they've got bigger sails over there.
Fucking bigger boat over there. We'll have to do something like, oi, you, what are you doing down there lying on the fucking floor reading the book? Get up here and start building again. I think that's it, you know. I genuinely think
that's a good analogy.
You know how, what is it, Jordan Peterson says his like 10 rules for life or whatever.
Yeah,
We've got a book right there.
Yeah.
The relationship boat. And the journey, the man and the female, written by Tim and Woody.
Yeah.
That'd be it. It'd only be 10 pages, a few illustrations, that'd be it. Obviously $10.99 from your local publishers.
Jesus.
That was, God, I tell you what, like we didn't answer if God is real or not, but we did just answer what a man and a female want from a relationship. I'm pretty sure about that.
I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah.
It'd be good to hear what our listeners think about that.
And if we didn't, leave us a comment, you know. I've said that almost at every point.
Just fucking pushing the engagement. Come on, guys.
And if you're still there, leave us a comment. No, there was something interesting I was thinking about the other day, which was we had that lovely comment from Tran, the first person who's outside of our circles who's listened to the podcast that we know of. And I think that there's actually a responsibility upon someone who's outside of our circle. If you do like the content, obviously it's not so much a responsibility. I guess it might be an ask. Enjoy the content. That's your responsibility. But if you would like to place the responsibility upon yourself, push it to someone else who might also enjoy it. Only because it would be brilliant if we could just have this space of people who are like that. Because like the comment he left last time was so thought-provoking that it's almost like he's here with us.
Second viewer, yeah.
Yeah.
A third, get like a special guest or something.
Yeah, and as I say, one day, make a Discord room. We're solving questions like, what would a man and woman want from a relationship? Dude, we might have just solved all of life's equations in 1 week of Discording with 30 of us.
Exactly.
We could start a new world government. But yeah, do try and push the efforts forwards. We can't solve it all by ourselves. And also, I'm sure there's a brilliant amount of people out there who would enjoy it.
It very much sounds like we're ending here, but I'm definitely not ending.
Because this is it. The personalities have taken up the predominance of it. I've got so many questions to ask.
Let's go.
How do you peel a wet wipe out of a pack, but only take one?
How do you...
So I have this problem, Wet
you
wipes
can't. They're impossible. Yeah.
I was cleaning. This is the reason why. Claudia is not going to like this. So I had a bit of sticky
They're
stuff.
expensive as well. Those.
There was a bit of stickiness on my desk yesterday, or probably even maybe 48 hours ago, and I've just left it there. But it was near where my palm goes and rests when my hand's on the keyboard.
Sticky jizz on your table.
No, not the GIZZ. It was. She makes this sweet and chili like sauce, but it's with like soy and lemon in it and a bit of sugar. Anyway, I spilled a bit of it on the desk, and I was sitting there. I was like, about to do the podcast. Can't really be doing it with a sticky desk. And I looked around. There was some floor wipes that we have that are perfect for the job. They're in a pack from Wilkinson's, and I went to start taking them out. And I have the same thing with wet wipes. You take one out and you end up with a clump just following it, and you have to like poke them back through the hole. And I wasn't having it, so what I did is I I got the hull and I picked up the whole pack, and I just wiped the table with the hull facing downwards, so that the hull was cleaning the desk, and it worked a treat. And then what I did afterwards is I peeled out tried to, and ended up with 4 and had to poke the rest back. In fact, they're on the counter over there with half of them hanging out the pack, and I guarantee you when we should go to bed, she's going to see those and absolutely rinse me. She's looking at me right now. They are out the pack. But that made me think of the question of how do you do that? And it won't be one that we answer. Perhaps with tweezers. You would pull the first one, and then you'd have to really quickly put your finger on the second one as it tries. It's like it's like a dog adoption centre. Like you take one, and the rest of them are like, "What the fuck you doing, mate? Me as well."
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So that was a little small one. I can't ask that one because that's for the end of the show.
I don't think it's possible to, and this is a flaw in the manufacturing process. That why haven't they designed a packet of wet wipes that actually dispense 1 unit at a time? Someone solved that problem.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just too wet. Maybe they just need to. Maybe the whole purpose is that they need to dry a little bit, but then they're no longer wet wipes.
What if you had dry wipes that as soon as you took them out of the pack, activated with the air and became wet?
Ah, yeah.
My mind's getting wet thinking about that. Fuck me. That'd be brilliant. So I do have, what is mankind's greatest problem?
Greed.
Yeah? Yep. But greed has kept us going. It's the reason we're here.
Yep.
Greed is that evolutionary trait to keep going, to keep pushing. Oh, one more day. So it's an interesting one, greed, isn't it, really? Because it's the biggest enemy, but it's also...
I just think that it's greed is a trait of...
it's a snowballing trait.
It's a snowballing trait, but it's a trait found. If I was to rank traits of like worst to best, I don't know. Obviously, greed is going to be at the bottom of that, but it's like everything has greed. Like it's such a basic trait that every organism has, that it's like it's not even worth having. Like
even when you see, but when you see a little bacteria like through the lens, like absorbing another piece of bacteria,
it's not even something that you can't be proud of it. Is my point. You can't be proud of being greedy.
It's common.
It's like a common card. Like if you was to get,
I've got a bottle of air. Well, great. There's fucking air everywhere.
Yeah. It's like that useless Pokemon that just does splash. Is it Marigold, maybe?
Yeah. Or getting one of those, like a trainer card.
Yeah, it's like the worst thing. Like, and we still put it at the forefront of everything we do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why it's the worst. Because it also just does a lot of damage, I think. But it also gets people to be super rich. So I guess... For some people, it has its perks, but it's not a collective benefit to the species.
Yeah, I think greed's a good one. I can't actually trump that.
What did you have in mind?
I didn't. I don't come with answers. I come with questions. I rarely think of the answers to these questions. I just write them down throughout the week, and I think, boom, let's go for that. I didn't write this down, but I thought of it just as you were talking there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Bit of a goldfish, but it's come back to me. So I was thinking the other day when I was thinking about... I'm almost going back to personalities. Are you fucking typing mid-podcast? Is that going outward, or is that research that benefits the cast?
Research that benefits the cast.
Right, well, that's all right. Guys, if he's fucking lying...
I'm not lying.
We'll fucking lynch him. So... Jesus Christ, there he was again. I am gonna goldfish if you keep typing. Jesus
Sorry.
Christ. So Oh, don't do it. That was it. So I was thinking about the whole personality trait thing and the things that I'm possibly good at. And I was wondering, I kind of had a bit of a sadness that I've done well. I'm happy with what I'm doing in life and the work that I'm doing and stuff like that. But I did wonder, like, for example, I have a mate who does like music videos and stuff. He's like a producer for films. Like, he's making his way. He's doing quite well. And then I watch TV shows like Game of Thrones. And I really like the depth of the story portrayal. And I just wondered, like, I think my skills, I really wonder what they would be like because I feel like I'm a creative person who can just create. I have an ability to create, whether it's making a sandcastle or making a song or fucking whatever, yeah? What if I had the power of a team behind me to make movies or to make it like would I be good at it? Or am I just imagining that? Like, and I kind of had this resonance of like, in another life, what would I have done? And I also kind of wanted to ask you, like, you've always been like, you think you're a music maker, you think you're a developer, you think you're all these things. But what other things do you think possibly, if you hadn't taken the small decisions in your life that have told you you're those things, you would be? And I think it kind of goes back to that question you asked of when we tell kids what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, what sort of things do you think you could be? Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting one to me. Nice to daydream about.
I guess
I reckon I'd have made Game of Thrones better. You know, just fucking saying it. Like,
it's a bit fucking bold.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I wouldn't be good at. I wouldn't see. This is the thing. Is I guess this is. I don't know how to answer it because I am good at the things I do because I'm interested in them.
This is it. Whereas my skills, I feel like they're like, so even in work, for example, I've always had this idea that, like, I'm doing this vertical, yeah, but the only reason I'm doing this vertical is to enable myself to get to a point where I can have a team behind me so that I can, just like I do with, like, perhaps sometimes with you, like, I have, like, maybe an idea and I can not offload that to you to do, but I can. Do you get what I'm saying? It sounds really horrible when I put it like that. But if I had a team like the guys who make Game of Thrones has a team of like 100 people to create this world and to do all these things, I feel like I could do something good. But I can't do anything with my fucking hands on my own. I can't walk one step. And it's a really horrible and obnoxious thing to say that, oh, well, if I had 100 people, I'd be fucking brilliant. It'd be great. But I feel like it would. And I feel like sometimes there needs to be a person that could lead people and that could do that. I think I could do that. But then with you, it's different because you're good at doing the things.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a self-starter.
You're good at walking the walk.
Yeah, I'm a self-starter. You're not much of a self-starter.
Exactly.
I don't often have good ideas about things to do. But I'm very good at doing things.
Yeah.
Whereas yours, the opposite of that is you're not very good at doing things by yourself. You're not a very good self-starter, but you're very good at thinking of things to do.
What I'm saying. It's because I was watching a documentary of Game of Thrones when the director was walking through the set and he was like, fucking...
Yeah, now...
That skirt's too short. Like, I wouldn't be like that, but like... I was just imagining, like...
The question is how do those people get to become... Like, how do you even become a producer? Like, how do you even get to that stage in your life?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They have to do the walk.
I don't think they do.
I think a lot of them have done the walk and that's how they've got into that position.
Maybe. I just don't think so, though.
Well, then I need to maybe I should just turn up one day and just start fucking telling people what to do. Maybe I should have turned up to the Game of Thrones set and just said, that skirt's too short. Like, and everyone's like,
who's that?
What? He's fucking right.
Yeah.
Sort that out right now. What else have you got? Put the fire in the corner. Turn the music up. Action. And the director sat there like, who the fuck's this guy? And I'm like, you're the guy who did the walk. I'm here to do the talk.
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know. It's a bit of a wild card. Maybe that's going nowhere. But I'd like to live in another universe where you could just remodel decisions, fucking simulate what would have ended up. Maybe I'll get the opportunity one day. Maybe, you know, if I keep going.
Is it so? Here's the question: is it because you're not interested in doing the things, or is it that you feel you're incapable of doing the things?
It's absolute. So often,
Because you don't try very hard to actually do
yeah,
things.
like, so there's a load of products that I want to make. I've never learned how to code.
Yeah.
Earlier I was thinking about like how I'd be great at BD. Maybe I should learn some fucking languages and just fly around the world all the time and sell products. I don't know how to speak another language. And I think it's almost a psychological block, I'll be honest with you. I've always wondered, and it's an interesting thing I wanted to talk to you about, which was that I feel like at school I slowly taught myself not to learn, whereas you seem to be enthusiastic to learn. I never do applied learning. As I said earlier, like the sponge. Things come, they stay. I think about them, they stay. But I don't sit there and think I want to know how this works.
Right,
exactly the opposite of what you said about tinkering.
Yeah. So my take on school was these guys don't know what I want to learn and they don't know how to teach. So I need to teach myself in order to satisfy my urge to do something. But that's just to know how something works. So what is, like, if you could do a sentence like that of
what school was,
not what school was, but what was learning for you? Like what?
So learning was always waiting until these finite moments in education when a topic of interest or the topic itself is delivered in an interesting way. For example,
and you didn't.
I would love physics, but fuck off with all the equations and all this crap and stuff like that. I want to talk about it, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how many electrons are in a thing. I just want to know they're there and how they work. Yeah, and I don't want to have to draw that electron. Okay,
right.
And then I want to question, well, why is the electron there? Why does it do? Like that time when someone told me that there are electrons, he was like, as a passing comment, our physics teacher was like, sometimes electrons, they do this weird thing where if people look at them, they behave differently. And then he just carried on. I was like, wait, hold on a fucking minute, what?
Yeah.
So just stop right
interesting
there.
Bit.
Let's do a year on that, shall we?
Yeah.
And it never really got there. But also a lot of my school and education was kind of like, had these fantastic relationships with teachers that they would just be so pissed off with me because they'd love teaching me. They'd love me being in the classroom as much. I'd dick around a lot, which pissed them off, but they liked having a questioner in the room. And I liked being that questioner, but I didn't give a fuck about it because it was all just, I was learning an exam paper. I wasn't learning the world.
Right. So that's what I'm saying about, I took action on that feeling of knowing that what I'm being taught is a load of bullshit, like just to pass this exam.
Yeah.
And so I used to
sit there and go out and learn.
Yeah, I used to
Whereas I just felt disassociated and just, had a wank, fucking played the guitar and just wasted away, really. And just thought a lot to myself, like wrote poems, and that was kind of it. But I think that's one thing that always reminds me is I used to have a poetry book when I was in junior school that I would sit there and just like fucking write poems in. I even remember in year 8 we had this competition to go away and make like a poetry book or something, and people came back for like 2 poems, something like that. I came back with a poem of every different genre. I bet I've still got it. I might try and get that from my mum. I remember these nights of just staying up, like at the computer on Microsoft Word, and like doing all these different poems in different styles, talking about different things, choosing a different word art title that suited what it was. And then I tea-stained the book, and it was just like, it was brilliant. I was so engaged, but it was creativity. They literally said to me, go and be creative. And I was like, I'll take that and fucking run a mile. And that's what I'm saying, is that I just want to be put in a space where someone says, be creative, not write poems, not anything, just be creative. And that's what I said about, like, so for example, if I had become the director of Game of Thrones, I know I'm shooting high here, like, oh, I want to change life. Well, let's be the director of Game of Thrones. But I feel like when I said that guy probably walked the walk, he probably went to film school, probably knows a lot about film. And when he's making these decisions, he's thinking about, I might be completely wrong. There's probably people just like what I'm explaining of myself to be. But I feel like a lot of it is like educated decision making. But I feel like a flamboyant flair. I feel like if I do really well at it. And I just hope maybe there's a time in my future where I get the chance to do that. But there isn't many jobs that do that. Hi, here's some money. Go and fucking just do whatever. You know what I mean?
So the difficulty with that is, I guess you could consider me lucky in that there are a lot of jobs for people like me.
Oh yeah, that's every job. I'm working your job right now.
Yeah.
I'm working your job, and all the time knowing that I should be Woody and that I'm Tim. And I think that some people see value in the fact that I'm Tim doing Woody's job. I think that others think, fuck, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? Why isn't he doing something different? People have said it to me. Why are you not doing something different?
Yeah, I guess the question is, so the difficulty is for people that are like you, and I think it is difficult, and this goes back to like having an informed idea of what jobs there are, or what jobs are available for your learning type / personality type. I'm sure there's loads of jobs that are not available, but there will be junior jobs available. So an example would be like script writing.
Yeah.
Just for like a small children's show.
I do have to. I think it's one thing that you're tapping into there, which is right, which is I need to get out of the slump of. Like my G drive is just full of fucking ideas. But not only that, sometimes you can be creative on your own. You can write a book. You can, you can go out and make a short film if you want. You can make a sculpture. And I'm very good at starting the sculpture and not finishing it. I don't believe in myself enough to actually write the whole story. And it's no good saying you want to be the Game of Thrones director, turning up for episode 1 and episode 2. Like, where's that guy who said this? He was great. Where's he got? You don't want to. Oh, he's fucking gone, mate. He's gone. I need to be the guy who sticks around. Can't say you're a creative genius if you're not going to fucking, tick the boxes and walk the walk.
Yeah, so I think it's about...
But like I said, I want people to be behind me when I walk that walk. I know that sounds lazy, but I want to be... So I don't keep interrupting you, but I learned a lot about bad leaders, yeah? Mm. And I think a lot of people who say they want to be a leader, like to guide and steer a boat with people in it towards an objective, in whatever form or objective that is. A lot of people who say they want to be a leader are probably not a good leader. But I think I somehow step outside of that and would be good at it. Because I think a lot of times I've ended up assuming that position regardless. Even just people pushing me into it. Yeah. And it normally goes well.
Yeah.
And I just wish I could do that more.
Were you one to like lead a group project? Like in, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what happened once at uni, yeah? Is our drama teacher, well, she wasn't a drama, she was the physical theatre, I think it's called. I can't even remember what they're called anymore because I didn't listen. But physical theatre let's call it that, when you try and portray things. But it's not like Shakespeare. You don't like speak, art thou would like to feel sad today. It's not feeling sad. It's showing that you feel sad through some sort of other physical expression. She went out the room for like an hour, yeah. And I don't really know what happened in that hour, but I had like 30 people fucking doing a performance around like the tragedy of like this Greek situation where there were these gods and these people being sacrificed, all these things. Anyway, so a story to it and everything like that. And people were it wasn't that I was dictating an idea. I set the scene for an idea. I guided an idea. And I've created a space where people wanted to tap into that, where they didn't just want to, you know, get to the end of lecture and get out and have lunch. They wanted to make something great. And our lecturer came back in and she's done fucking amazing performances. She's a big thing. Yeah. She was one of the lecturers who'd like actually done what she was like, a lot of stuff. And she was just like, she'd come back. She was like, I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. And, she'd come in the last 5 minutes and seen me. She'd seen kind of what had happened, and she kept me behind afterwards and was like, have you ever thought about writing stuff? Like, have you ever been doing anything like that? And I was just like, I keep sounding like I'm sucking my dick here, but I think it's important to be self-reflective, especially when we're talking about personalities and stuff. I think I'm allowed this.
Yeah. No one's questioning. No one's pointing fingers. Just take the reins and run.
Yeah, but it's always it's just like it's not nice to be the guy who helps people. It's not nice to be the one who says, I want to lead people and I think I'd be good at it. But yeah, like even then that happened. And in group projects, yes, always. And not forcefully, not...
So I usually ended up being someone that had a direction to go and inevitably sort of became the group leader purely because I could see you could see the objective and the pieces that need to be put together to make the objective. Yeah. Whereas other people didn't see that. Exactly. And so they were in a subservient state to give you that sort of status. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Which is like it kind of just goes to show how there are so many different routes to come to the same conclusion. Yeah, but the thing is I don't particularly enjoy being a leader. Whereas if you enjoy being a leader, then I think definitely you need to be doing more things to push towards that. I know it's hard, but I think in work, soon I'm going to be told, we want you to do something different because we think you'd be good at this. I think someone's going to soon come to that conclusion. Fair enough. And I think at that point, I'm going to say, well, fine. But just as so you know, you might want me to do this, but this is what I want to do, and talk about the fact that I want to progress and to get to that point at some point in my career. And I'm going to try and use whatever means necessary to take at least one step forward towards that, maybe. Yeah. But fuck yeah, I think it'd be good. Ding, ding, ding. Should private gun ownership be banned? It is in the UK. Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Why? I mean, it's not banned. You can have a license for it. I can have a shotgun if I want, yeah. You need a license for it, yeah. What the fuck does that mean? I think it's quite strict having a license. I think it's like a yearly thing that you need to renew, have a safety session on. They need to inspect how you're storing it in your house and things like that. Yeah, like still. Every year. Should it be banned though? Having guns? Well, maybe beyond that. So forget the licenses. Should guns be banned? It'd be nice if they were. There's a big thing in America, which is that if there was a way to have like a world treaty to say like, right, ban weapons, ban all anything that targets. Can you imagine the wars going back to like sharpened spears? Yeah, like, exactly. It'd be fucking sick. Yeah, it'd be like signing up for the army. It'd be like, get your swords out. It'd be so much better.
Yeah,
Such
there's a big
less of
thing
a
in
threat.
America, which is that they feel like having guns be legal is what liberate or keeps them safe from an oppressive government, but they have an oppressive government, so I don't understand it.
Yes,
It's like,
we've spoken about this before. It's a bullshit idea that it allows the American people to believe that they have freedom because that's the line that the media says.
yeah,
And
here's
it's
a
also
gun.
it's also a way of
But
the
if you ever use this, you'll be called a mentalist and go to jail.
it's also a way of the whatever their arms association is called, United Arms Associate, or whatever they call it, of making more money
Well,
by selling guns. Like,
but what I don't understand is I feel like the idea of revolution is getting harder and harder as every day goes by.
yeah,
And I think the day has by far gone where guns, if there was a war between a government and people, like we said last episode, they'd wipe you out in a click. It wouldn't matter about your guns.
no.
They probably got a machine that's a magnet that you'd just be holding your gun and they'd just disappear out of your hand and all be stuck to the White House. But it's interesting, this idea of there's a song by Depeche Mode, "Where's the Revolution? Come on, people, you're bringing me down," and it's like so true. That's what the song that me and Woody once made, "Motions." Not to resurface the music that we once made.
We'll add a link in the description there.
We will, yeah. But there really isn't a chance anymore. I don't know what it would take for humans to say we've had enough and for them to demonstrate that.
Severe oppression, like severe oppression.
I think we're like we're the partner to a sadomasochist and we're saying, spank me, government, do it. Like,
I think,
what would it take?
Maybe,
what would it take? What the fuck would it take? Because soon there's going to be no reason for you to work. You will have no purpose in the working sense. Soon, money will become obsolete and not even make sense to possess. Housing will become a point where there'll be towers into the sky and you'll be essentially caged animals. At which point, it's just these entertainment faucets that you'll be living on. At which point,
what's the point of living?
You won't complain. You'll just be an organism that just feeds on these things.
Yeah.
And think about walking in the country. Think about all the things that you hold dear. Because fuck me, they're slipping away.
So here's the thing. Right, so this is another thing that I wanted to talk about, actually.
The walls are closing in.
My brother was here on...
Was he?
Yeah, Ollie came down.
He would be a brilliant guest.
Yeah. And I...
Oh, that's brilliant that he came to visit. How long for?
A day. And we can talk about it after. But anyway.
I'm glad he visited.
I got talking to him about... and which was sort of inspired by the video that you sent me about the Great Reset. Yes,
because I tried explaining that to you once.
Yeah, and I've still got my reservations. I've still got my reservations on it because the kinds of people that are talking about this Great Reset are clearly those people that live in cities, and I want to coin this new term of cityism. Where people are so indoctrinated with the idea of being in a city and seeing the rapid changes and adaptations that are required to be in a big city
that they don't actually understand.
Don't look outside and understand what other people are living in.
That's 100% what I've seen as soon as I've started exploring with this house move thing. I've seen a rapid change in my opinion of how people live in the UK. Yeah. As soon as I stepped about past Braintree, you go into Norfolk. And do you know what's funny is sometimes I talk when I have my family catch ups, we meet each other, we talk about me moving to Norfolk, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the people are all farmers out there. Oh, we're very, very different out there. You'll be going to the local spring dance to find yourself a partner, and it's very different out there." But dude, it's not grey. It's colourful. It's they've still got some green left.
Yeah.
I was driving through the fields, and you're just like, okay, open space. Like, this is England. And then you think about things like people voting for Brexit and stuff like that. And I always used to think that people who voted for Brexit were people who, like, I didn't identify with. But then I get to the countryside and I kind of feel like they look at cityism, as you've termed it, which is beautiful, potentially a title leading topic. And I kind of get why they want to protect their lay of the land.
Yeah.
Their little tiny patch of goodness. Because the walls are closing in.
Yeah, the walls are closing in on them.
Fucking
Cityism.
Brexit straight away.
Exactly.
And that's why a lot of this countryside area is blue. And then you look to the inner cities and you see red Labour like voting because they want freedom to escape the metropolis that they've designed for themselves.
Yep.
And everyone else wants to. They looking at the metropolis and they're like, "Fuck that!
Don't
want
let
that
that come
coming.
out here."
Yeah, don't bring it near me."
Exactly.
I think we've
solved another one there.
I think we've fucking hammered it. What was the question? Just so we know, that was guns. We don't know. It definitely wasn't guns. What is cityism and where's the revolution?
Where's the revolution? Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's why that's what got me thinking about it, was the idea of, from like all of these people that are talking about the Great Reset, people from the World Economic Forum, people from the European Commission, people from NATO, United Nations, they all live in big cities and operate in big cities, and they don't know what's going on. They don't even don't understand that people don't live in flats. Like 90% of the population don't live in flats. They live in houses with vast expanses of land.
Yeah.
And they're not willing. There was that video was saying things
We'll do it. We'll sit in the farmland. You can deliver us a thing by the fucking drone. We'll probably shoot it down and just be like, eh.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's no enforcement out there to even like, oh yeah, where's your money, government, to fund the police enforcement to push your methodology of where you want to run the country?
Yeah,
you don't have the money.
Send tanks down my country lane.
Yeah.
we'll plant the mines.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I think you've smashed it there. The only thing that did concern me is, like, say those names again about the people who are freaking talking about this Great Reset. To give context, the Great Reset, the idea of, like, there's this video that says it's the world 20-something, whatever. You'll own nothing. You'll do this. You won't work. You'll get shit delivered to your door by drone and you'll be happy. And it's being pushed by the World Economic Forum quite a lot. And it's this kind of like idea of, like, I think King, is he King Philip? I don't even know.
Prince.
Dickhead who's married to the Queen. Is sitting there.
Prince Charles.
Yeah, okay. Oh, even worse. Jesus Christ. If there was ever a wobbly one in the royal family, it's him. Can't believe he might be next in line.
He's not.
Is he not? Great. Fucking skip him. Anyway.
Oh, no, he might be.
Yeah, I think he might be, but hopefully William and whoever pull a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But that might be illegal to say that. But yeah, he said
it's open to interpretation.
He said, now we have this new opportunity to reset the world, and coronavirus has given us that. We need change, and now we can do it. And it's like a reshuffling of the cards, except for the dealer always wins. And they say to you, like, that's what I'm worried about. And then you said those names of the people who were talking about it. You didn't just say Bob Up the Road wants to do this. You said these freaking powerful entities in the world want to make this change, at which point I feel like it's oppressed upon people, at which point, we say cityism will bend over and accept it. But cityism is regardless of living in the country and how brilliant it is, cityism is 80% of where shit happens in the world. And I know it's a bubble that you can easily get caught in. It doesn't have to be, but the thing that really made me sick was the advert and the way it said, and you will be happy. And I really don't like that. I really don't like that. Telling people this is what's going to happen and rounding it off with, and you will be happy. Yeah. Where's the revolution? That's what I'm saying to you. You don't have that revolution because you're being told what to do.
Yeah.
No matter what. And you will be happy. You'll get a freaking GoPro delivered by an Amazon drone. You go in the bedroom, you film yourself having a wank, and you'll be like, this is brilliant. But the reality is you've lost something when that happened. You've lost having a journey to fetch that drone, to fetch that GoPro. I don't know. Anyway. So what I'm more interested in is the fact that you spoke to your brother about this, and I
didn't really. He wasn't too interested in it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what he was interested in. I can't really remember what we spoke about.
We need to engage him. We got to get him on there.
Nah, I don't know.
He's one of us. There aren't many of us, and sometimes we slip away. But we can be brought back.
Maybe.
We can be brought back. So I don't think we need to rattle on forever. We've dived deep into the personality stuff. I think one thing which is interesting is that as we do these podcasts, I can almost get sad as they come to an end because I do enjoy them. But one thing that I wrote down as well is to give an update on lockdown in the UK. We are easing up. And I did want to say that we always wondered what it'd be like doing a face-to-face podcast, kind of scared of it because we found a groove that's working. But before I move house, you've built a lovely shed. I think we might as well give it a go. And God knows, we might be able to make some other videos as well.
I just don't know how we're going to do it. I've got the 2 chairs. I don't have a table.
Yes. Look, audience, how about this? Leave us a comment if you think a table's essential. And then they're not going to. So, dude, there's a table outside of your shed on the patio.
Oh, yeah. Could put a blanket over that or something.
Yeah. Would it be awful?
Okay, no, I don't think it would.
It's got to, you know what I mean? Like, there's enough barriers in the world. Don't be making more of them.
Yeah, true.
We've got... What camera have you got? You've got a camera that we could shoot Game of Thrones on.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do that instead, make a new episode of Game of Thrones. That was it. I remember when I was younger, I used to have a... do you remember the old VCR, like, video recorders that had a tape in them?
Yeah, I've got one, actually.
I used to have one of those, and with my siblings, we'd set it up and, like, get the coffee table out and sit behind it, get some papers and shuffle it. In today's stories, do the news show. That's always a good one. That's a fond memory of mine. Or make a music video. God, if I have the music video of me and my stepsister doing Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day, miming it with electric guitars, I think that might just be an internet sensational hit that we could upload to the YouTube. I walk a lonely road. If we could end the podcast just with that music coming in, that would be great.
Nah, I can't. Sorry.
Did we actually get Elon on the podcast where I said Elon was going to be there?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
What episode was it? That must be one of the only episodes that I never listened back to.
9, maybe? 9 part 1?
I'll go back and listen to that now. Do you have anything to say?
I think I'm all good.
All good? Hope that didn't sound. I just accidentally played a YouTube video. Thanks for listening, guys. Believe in yourself. Stay strong. Keep pushing. The walls are closing in, but you can push back. Tim and Woody, good night.